It's another beautiful day for working on the railroad, and today what I'm going to be doing is preparing this area for the first few feet to put the track in place. That means removing obstacles that are in the way, things like that hill that I started to take down last week. I'm going to need to go a little bit further in order to get down to the plywood surface of the train tables. The train tables are basically a plywood surface, and then on top of that is a 1-inch sheet of XPS foam, kind that they use as insulation board in home construction. I need to get down through that insulation board all the way to the plywood of the tabletop in order to be able to glue down the support columns for the elevated tracks of track number 3. In order to support the roadway, I'm using the dowel rods, the poplar dowel rods, 1-inch dowel rods as columns, but I'm also using this. This is kiln-dried poplar 1x6 boards under it. Now, the straight sections obviously are going to fit very easily, very nicely on here with room on either side to attach the columns that'll raise it up. But in addition to the straight sections, the 036 curve also fits on here. And if I put it like this, you can kind of get an idea of how that would work. I simply put that on there, position it so it's centered on the board, and then I draw the angles and I miter those ends for the angles so that it matches the angles that the track makes on each end. And that then provides a very solid support structure for the whole track, including the 036 curves. Before I put the columns or the boards in place for the fast track to go on top of, I'm going to be painting them. I'm going to paint the columns a concrete color so they look like cement columns coming up to support the structure, and I'm going to paint these poplar boards old iron metallic on the top and the sides and a flat black on the bottom. I could get fancy and buy aluminum or other metal girders and things to build it out of, but I'm too cheap for that. So this is a much more economical solution, and I think with the old iron metallic on 3 sides and the flat black on the bottom, it's going to work out just fine. Part of going through that hill is deciding how big a cut I need to make. Now, the way I make that determination is based on the trains that I'm going to be running through there. My longest train car at the present time is 52 scale feet long. That works out to about 20.5 inches. Now, when you put a 20.5 inch car on an 036 curve, it's going to overhang on the inside of the curve. And it overhangs about 5 scale feet from the inside rail of the curve. That's about 1¼ inches. Now, I'm going to allow about 3 times that in order to have room so that once I'm all done building this, I can go back and landscape the side of the cut. First steps, I'm going to start clearing that away. The way that I will be clearing it away is by using a shop vac. And basically, I put the shop vac nozzle down onto the foam that I want to remove, and then I drag it through the foam and pulling the foam off the surface underneath, pulling loose the glue that holds it down. And as it does that, the shop vac sucks it up at the same time. So at the same time I'm doing a little bit of demolition, removing the foam that has to be removed, I'm also cleaning up so I don't have a big cleanup job, a big mess to go back to later on. I'm going to give it a try to see if I can get the Polar Express engine on the passenger line pulling just 3 cars to be able to move its way around the track and negotiate the grade. So here we go. Let's see if it'll run. Well, that worked better than I thought it would. I'm not expecting to pull long trains up the grade, so pulling the tender and 2 and 3 cars behind it was a pretty good test. I'm going to back it back down and see where we end up. It goes pretty fast when it's running with just the 3 cars on it. I have to remember that. And I think we'll take her back just far enough to shut the bells down. There we go. There we go. Now we can call it a day. Appreciate you watching. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and like the video. Hit the thumbs up down below. Share it with anybody else you know that might be interested in modeling. And thanks for your time. I appreciate your watching.